with
your girl Arthur Pamela J.
and Miss LT
And we
live
got
on Sador Radio, the station that's more than music. We're live with Jovan, aka Vaughn.
from the boogie from Brooklyn. I almost said the boogie down Bronx.
Look
From
at she does
Brooklyn.
that.
Woo!
She always putting somebody in the Bronx.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why she trying to get everybody living in the Bronx.
And I don't even live in the Bronx
What
at
part of East New York?
all.
I live in the bit. Well, they call it Uni Pass, but Bama's right down the block from Thomas Jefferson High School.
You
That's,
talk fast.
Skank and Stanley. That's,
Nah, you way on the other side. I'm over here, Alabama, Williams,
that's
Y'all know
on
we
the other
live on the
side.
radio.
Right.
Other side of Pennsylvania.
Right.
Okay. We love.
Yay! They're becoming friends on Brown Girl hashtag. We got this. Yay!
We're gonna start back our interview with Vaughn. And Vaughn, I understand you told us earlier that you spent 23 years.
24.
Let me get all mine. 24 years.
He said, "Let me get all mine."
24 years in prison. And let me ask you, because the topic of our show today is relationships. Is it hard? I mean, relationships are hard as it is, but when you're in prison, incarcerated for as long as you've been, was it really hard for you and your wife? Was it hard times when she felt like, you know what, I'm not doing this no more. I'm done.
Absolutely. It was me being in Clinton, which is just a couple 50 miles away from Canada, the Canada border. Her having to travel up there, she felt some kind of way about that at times. Coming to visit me and going through all the trials and tribulations with the police and different facilities, that somewhat deterred her from wanting to come see me and all of that.
Really?
All of these different holidays that's passing by, all her sisters, they got their husbands and boyfriends around. She don't have me there. That was kind of like a deterrence. So yeah, it is pretty rough on a relationship on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
On both ends, it was hard for me to understand that sometimes she can't put money on the phone. It was hard for me to sometimes understand that, I couldn't get a food package or I couldn't get the sneakers that I wanted. I had to sacrifice certain things for the kids,
Exactly.
So like I said, it's definitely hard on both ends.
And speaking of that, I when I go visit the prison, I hear couples fight about that. And I just think you probably was understanding, but a lot of the males that I've seen or heard, some of them, they're not understanding that. Some of them would be, because it's hard sometimes. Yeah, what was that?
I'm sorry. I just thought about someone who's not understanding. My bad. I hate it when those light bulbs go off.
But they not understand. Like they'll say, like, you late. You're late.
I'm here. Period.
I mean, do you understand what I just endured to get on this side to see you? Like, hi, thank you for coming to see me. Sometimes I see people that don't get that, and it's hard because it's like, do you know I'm about to get up and walk out of here, and you ain't gonna do nothing but just stand right there because the guard ain't gonna stop you. So I'm about to leave because you acting up. Like, I just took my time out my day. I miss you too, but be understanding that
and appreciative.
Because when she came with me, it was
a mess. I'm sorry it was a mess, but there is things that's for me and there are things that are not for me, and that's in love, because I would really have to love you. Yo, when I went there, I lost at least a good 5 pounds tracking back and forth because I had an ID card, or I had a medical card, or I can't take a key with me. What am I going to key him to death? Like, I'm not involved. I'm going to visit. Like, what is wrong with you? Am I going to give a person a paper cut and they're going to bleed to death because I have this card with me? What is really the people in there? I really, y'all are awesome. And you guys need to really, male and females who are incarcerated, you need to truly appreciate. Stop all that arguing and fighting. I ain't come there to argue and fight. I just had to get mentally and physically molested just to see you. Okay, because I had a little bit of wire on a hook on my bra. I had to take off my clothes, and they want me to put on some dirty smock some dirty thing that you don't know whose skin cells are on.
But I told you to not have metal.
Well,
on.
it squeezed me that I didn't inspect the bra from cotton to cotton.
Oh my God!
It said no underwire. It said no underwire.
I
It said
never
no-
be.
Look,
the first
look,
time
It's
they
not my
told me,
fault you a pro and I'm
It ain't
not.
about being a pro.
That's a pro. That's a pro. Because
it's
I
not a
didn't
pro.
look at the hooks.
I was told,
The hooks.
Pamela, listen, you gotta go in.
The
Do not
hooks.
wear underwire. Don't wear this.
I
'cause it's
didn't
gonna be-
have
don't- And that was
underwire.
when I was going to the wedding, so I didn't do
You didn't say
anything
nothing
to
about the
all.
hooks.
I told you that. I
You
said
didn't
no
say-
metal. No, that means no metal.
Am I
So-
supposed to inspect it? Okay, so
Listen,
we're deviating. So we're back on
but-
relationships.
So
We're deviating. I have a question about your relationship.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
walk us through it because it's a little bit in his article. He has an article, y'all,
Yeah,
in the
in
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
something
and it's
Eagles.
really good. So please,
Yes,
go
you
and
need
read
to
it,
really read it.
and it'll give you some more understanding about what people have to go through with their mate. And
You
loved
met her
ones
at
in
8.
prison.
You met her at 8.
But when I got of age, when I was able to travel by myself, I would find myself traveling back over there.
Okay.
And because that was like my first love.
Okay.
Um,
At 8 years old, you knew you were in love with her.
I wouldn't say at 8 I knew that, but I think when I started going back around there, I think I started to develop those type of feelings for her.
Okay.
She was. I wouldn't say in love at 8, but I would say she was.
She holds up.
My favorite. Let's just say that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that sounds like it was many. He got many, y'all.
Yeah,
Don't do what?
You just got me in trouble. She's
That
about to
is-
fight this right now.
And she understands English. He said she's my favorite. At least you the favorite. Yes, ma'am. He said it. I didn't. I'm sorry.
From traveling back and forth over there, we our bond got stronger.
Okay.
Again, I'm learning new things, so I started to go venture off into different places. Sad to say, I went and had a baby on her, and to that day, yeah, I know. To this day, 25 years later, I'm still paying for it. Sorry,
Okay.
babe. But
man, come pay that. That's a heavyweight. So
Yeah.
real quick, so how old were you when you had this child?
my son was born 3 months before my 16th birthday.
Wow.
Actually 15 years old when he was born.
Okay. So he wasn't even a year yet when you were incarcerated.
He was actually 14 months when I got.
Oh, okay. So
he turned
just
one.
turned
2 months
one.
later, I was arrested for this crime.
OMG. So he's 24 now.
He's 25. He's about to be 26 this year.
Wow.
He's old.
Oh, ooh.
My bad,
So what,
big
does,
boy.
what does that make you? I got you.
I'm still young because I got locked up when I was 16.
Is that
I
what you
came
tell
home-
yourself? Oh, I
I
like
came
that.
home. I was 16,
Mhm.
and I had one birthday since I've been home. So I'm only 17.
Oh, okay. I like that
I like that.
I love that mindset. I don't know if I want to go that route to get that mindset, but I do like that mindset because I could be 20. I'll hold on to that. That is awesome.
That's cool. I had a question, but it is.
Well, I have one.
Go
How is
ahead.
your relationship with your 25-year-old's mom?
With his mother, that relationship is sort of like
What's
non-existent
wrong with
now.
your face?
No, I just was
Mm.
shocked that you asked that. But go ahead.
That relationship
Well, I'm
is,
nosy.
listen, the relationship is non-existent.
Well, cause it could have been existing, so you never know. That's why you ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. So now back to, picking back up with your first love, your favorite, his
My
favorite.
favorite. Okay. Shortly after I got incarcerated, she was like one of the first people that I reached out to
Mhm.
outside of my son's mother, as far as relationships is concerned.
Mhm.
And she was like there from the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay.
But again, I had to understand that we both had some growing that we needed to do,
Okay.
because there were hiatuses throughout the course of the bid where she, went and did whatever she went and did.
Mhm.
At that moment I was upset about it, but when she came back, it was like, wow, you're back. I'm happy again.
Mhm.
But so we had those moments, and again I had to understand that we were both young when I got arrested, so it was a lot of growing.
And
for
when
us
y'all
to
had
do.
a child, and
Exactly.
y'all were just young, 15. Wow.
Okay, and you said she went out and okay, she went and did whatever she did, and then she came back. Do a lot of relationships end up like that?
I mean, but if a man has a lot of time in prison that he has to do, it's, from my aspect, it's expected because
Right.
Wow.
at one point, I mean, listen, it's a reality. Again, I lived the street life when I was home,
Right.
and I know a lot of guys who went to prison, and I would see their girlfriends and or wives or baby mothers, they would stray away. So for me being in prison, from seeing all of this, from seeing it, from experiencing this in the streets, and me getting arrested, being told about this type of stuff, I expected for whoever was with me at the time to sort of stray away because I had a lot of time. Again, I can't be there for Valentine's Day. I can't be there for her birthday. I can't be there for Christmas. There's a lot of things that I'm missing out on. And, at one point in time, I used to feel like I was selfish and, dragging her into my mess, meaning, asking her to do this bid with me.
Mhm.
Because, when you decide to deal with somebody in prison, you're also doing that prison bid with them. You're also doing a bid.
Mhm.
With
Every
them.
time, don't get caught up. That's
Yes,
one of my
you
books.
are.
That's my first book. That's my very first book because unfortunately, my ex-husband went to prison, but he wasn't good. He wasn't a good boy. But yeah, and that's true. And I'm glad you said that because a lot of gentlemen and female that go to prison don't understand that we doing this time together. So that's really good that you said that. I'm glad that you said that. But when they come back, like you said, they stray away. When they come back, do you guys in prison hold that against them, like constantly? Oh, you went out and did whatever you did, or do you hold that against them, or are you understanding? You act like it never happened. Like we gonna pick up where we left off.
No, that would be an individual basis. For me, again, I understood it at a very young age because of the lifestyle that I came up in. Some of us in prison, we do hold those. Some of us in prison do hold those grudges. For me, I didn't because again, my wife wasn't with me selling drugs. My wife wasn't with me shooting people. So I really didn't expect her or nobody else who wasn't in that lifestyle with me to do a prison bid with me. So when she did, take her time out for herself to go do whatever she did, at the moment that I was going through it, I was highly upset about it. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I understood it.
The reality.
Exactly.
The reality.
Your emotions, you can't detach your emotions, especially if you feel for the person.
Exactly.
But you still understood or empathized the reality of the situation is unlocked.
You have no control.
Yeah,
You
like
can't control somebody else.
but you know what? Honestly, you can't control somebody if he was free.
And when they free,
There's,
'cause people cheat when they free
it's
too.
gonna
It's-
happen.
yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yes, it's more likely because he's incarcerated because he's not there to give that touch when necessary or to have that shoulder. But it happens.
I mean, I can see for me, what I've learned, is all about communication. So even at those times when she did disappear and I was upset, I would still reach out to her via
Right.
letters,
Mhm.
just so I can always stay relevant in her life.
And in her mind and her
Exactly.
thoughts.
So again, so if she did, come across, she got a boyfriend, she always got a letter from me. And it's like,
Mhm.
wow, he's still, although I'm not there for him at this moment,
Mhm.
he's still thinking about
me.
Okay. Wow.
And even though he knows this person may be there, he's still riding with me.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why you the favorite.
Yeah.
You the
Stop.
favorite. What's the favorite's name so I can stop calling her the favorite?
No. Nah, her name is KK.
Mrs. Banks.
KK. You can,
KK.
Mrs. Banks, KK, all the same. You can do it.
No, I like KK better. Oh, so how long? Okay, so KK would come and visit you. How long before you got married, or did you ask her? Or did she ask you? Like, how did that transpire?
We got married late into my prison bid. Again, on one of her journeys, I'm gonna call it. I
one of her journeys.
Again, it's a reality.
Oh, one of her journeys.
On one of her journeys, I had got
I'm gonna
married.
go on journeys.
I got married to another female.
Wow.
Oh.
This is so saucy. Thank you for coming.
Oh my God.
I like that.
Oh.
I haven't asked one question that I've written down. I like that. So, how'd you meet her? We're gonna be back to the KK, the favorite.
This. How did I meet who?
The first wife.
Yes.
That's somebody else I also knew from the streets.
Okay.
She was intrigued with a relationship that I had. She knew of a relationship that I was in at one point in time, and she was intrigued of how I treated that female. So, once she found the opportunity to, I don't want to get with me. I was about to say trap me, but I don't want to use that term.
Well, you've already used it.
No, I said I don't want to say that.
But you said it. I mean, you said it. You said it. It's in the air. You trapped them.
When she, had the opportunity, she let it be known that she had somebody like me, and we decided that, we would do it. And but that marriage didn't last too long because we both got into it for the wrong reasons. Now with my wife again, I kept reaching out regularly to her, even when I was married. I was still reaching out to KK because again, KK was like my first love. So, it came a point in time where, again, I became matured in my growth, and I said, you know what, it's enough of this boyfriend girlfriend thing, and I was the one who asked her to marry me, and she said yes.
Nice. The first time.
Yeah.
She liked you.
I think she loves him.
Oh
my God.
That is so nice.
That's really nice. But wow, that's amazing. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. Oh my goodness. So right now we have a caller on the line. Caller's on the line. His name is Corey Liggins, aka Spank, is in the house, so the people want to hear you.
Oh, Spank Peso. Yo, what up, boy? I'm feeling great.
Ask a question.
I can't.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. I don't know if y'all got the news. Him and his daughter.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Do you have a question for Vaughn? Hi, Corey. How you doing?
Cash. G.
Who? Cash is here.
Oh, no, Cash, what up, baby?
You on the air? Keep it clean.
I'm good. How you doing, boy?
Hey, guys, man. I appreciate y'all coming out there, man. Showing my baby some love.
No doubt. We're gonna support.
And
G
is here.
Hey, yo, G, what up, man?
What's up, brother? I'm here in the building. You already know.
A lot of love right there. I'm feeling good about that. Yeah, that's what's up.
We're working on this relationship thing right now.
Uh-oh.
Ask a question, Corey.
Exactly. On the radio show.
Okay, so we're going back to the show. Hold that thought. This is Arthur Pamela J.
And Miss LT on the station as
Sador Radio.
We'll be back. Go over to Sador Radio. Go to YouTube and watch us.
I'm feeling great, man.
I am gonna chop your throat off.
I got a little loss coming up
Did
here.
you really just do that?
He was supposed to ask the question.
Nah, I was supposed to take a certain exit, but I went on the wrong exit. I still made it here. I still made it here.
He had no question. You don't hear me.
Don't tell me what's off. It's not all good. It's not all good.
We on a commercial break.
Oh, you knew that.
You kind of dropped the ball here, but you supposed to ask a question about relationship.
Exactly. Tell him, Vaughn. You're supposed to ask a question.
What question was he going to ask? You heard him. I had nothing to say. I just wanted to see where my man.